Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Wednesday and this is the Whensday Warm-Up and we are excited to be here once again with you and the crew. We've got the crew here and the crew is none other than this gentleman over here, Mr. Miller. Hello, Mr. Miller. Or should I call you, you know what, I think because we talking medical stuff today, I think I should, and I don't want to say doctor because I don't want, there's some actual people who studied very long to get that title. So I don't want to give you that title. Okay, can we just get Aldrin's mic on? But let's go. Doctor. Not doctor. I don't want doctor. Let's say, I'll call you Mokta.
Mokta.
How's Mokta?
Wow.
Hey? Mokta. Mokta Miller.
Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mokta Miller coming to you live from the Inside Show. It is the Whensday Warm-Up with myself, Aldrin, and Lee. Mokta Miller.
Yes.
I like that one. I think I like it. I'm going to vibe with it for now.
Good.
As you can see, we are dressed out. You know, we are dripping in the Mokta gear. And
Yeah.
we're excited
Yeah,
for...
we're in our scrubs.
Yeah.
We're in our scrubs.
We're in our
But it
scrubs.
reminds me of the song. Scrub is a guy who thinks his spine is also known as a buster. And we have got the absolutely amazing, ravishingly beautiful, hello.
Come on.
We have got Jamie-Leigh Kinsey in studio with us today. Jamie, could you introduce yourselves? Introduce yourselves. Hey, plural. Introduce yourself to our viewers.
Hi guys, so I'm Jamie-Leigh Kinsey. I'm a 29-year-old cardiac technologist, and I'm excited to be here.
Yo,
Wow.
you know, ne?
Come on.
I was like, I even put it on my WhatsApp story. I'm like, ever heard of a cardiac technologist?
I saw that last
And there were
night.
some brave people who were like, yes, kudos to you. I must admit that I was part of the no percentage. I did not know what it is. So when I was like, so tell me what is like the title that I give you? And Jamie was like, cardiac technologist. I'm like, oh,
What is this?
I mean, I know what a cardiologist is, you
Yes,
know, that
but
is,
like
it's
a
not a
cardiac
cardiac technologist.
technologist,
Hey,
like, is this like
there's
a
levels
new, you
to
know?
this thing, you know. But tell us a little bit about yourself and what is a cardiac technologist?
Okay, so let me tell you about myself first.
Okay.
So I'm a full-time wife.
Hey,
Hey, come on.
Hey.
I'm a full-time mother to 3 beautiful girls. And I'm a full-time cardiac technologist in the private sector at Life Flora Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who don't know what a cardiac technologist is, we basically work hand in hand with specialists or doctors.
Okay.
We use equipment
Mm-hmm.
to diagnose different diseases of the body, different diseases of the organs, and different procedures to help the specialists come to their conclusion of what's basically wrong with the patients. So yeah, we basically use very sophisticated apparatus to diagnose problems in the organs of the body.
So this is like advanced technology
Yeah.
that you guys use.
Correct. So in a theatre setting, you would find like if a patient is deteriorating, that person you see on movies who shock
Yeah,
and
yeah.
revive, that's basically us.
Wow.
Wow.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you
Hectic.
like shock people to come back to life.
Yes. And
Wow.
pray that nobody's touching any surfaces.
Yeah,
to
or
feel
else
that
they
shock.
die.
Yeah.
And then you'd have
So
to
there's a
then-
lot of power that goes through that
Correct.
device actually. Speaking about that device, like
Yeah.
there's a lot of power going through. I was always fascinated by
Yeah.
that actual device. Like this thing brings people to life if you're
Yeah.
there, like losing your
Absolutely.
life.
I mean, if we're testing the machine, we've got to be so careful because that energy can come into you've got to be so careful in the way you test it because those joules can transfer into
Wow.
into your
What's the
body.
name of the device?
It's a defibrillator.
Defibrillator. I
Hey,
never knew that.
tongue
but now
twister,
I know.
defibrillator.
Defibrillator coming to you
Defibrillator.
to shock you.
So am I correct then in assuming that this cardiac technologist and this profession is fairly new because of, I mean, back in the day, like let's say in the early 1900s, there was no technology.
Yes.
So there would obviously not be a cardiac
Correct.
technologist, right?
Correct.
So it's still fairly new.
It is. It's a very scarce, in my day, a few years back, 8 years back, it was a very scarce skill. So nobody knew about it. I had never heard of what it was.
Yeah.
I had to research. Fortunately for me, I had a family friend who worked in the cardiac setting. She was a sister and she told me about the profession.
Wow.
Before that, I had no knowledge of what it was.
That is super interesting. But before you continue, because you got such an interesting story, but before you continue with that, we're going to go over to the segment that we like to call Breaking News. Breaking News. Right, Mr. Miller, Dr. Miller, give it to us. What is the top trends this week in the news?
Ladies and gentlemen, the top trends this morning, we have 3 topics covering what's currently happening not only in South Africa but around the world. Right? So number 1, in South Africa, we have the future of all NSFAS students. Well, first year students looking quite bleak. So this morning we actually got information or news rather that first year students may not be funded by NSFAS because of budget cuts due to COVID-19. So things are looking quite bleak for our first year students, but everyone else, second year, third years, final years will still be funded.
Can I just say, I find it a little bit unfair. Like, I feel like the class of 2020 are really just like the underdogs at this moment. Firstly, they had to wait so long for their matric results. You know, they only got it, February, the end of Feb. Let's say close to the end of Feb, they got their results. And now they have to contend with this thing of not receiving NSFAS. Oh my gosh.
But I think they just need to hold in there, keep the faith, and maybe things will work out for them sooner than they think.
Yeah, so in the week I was listening to Radio 702, and there was a few students at different campuses. I know that there were some students in Bellville, Cape Town, and Parow, Cape Town, and then around here as well, that was striking because of this first year students. Because obviously you can understand the frustration from everyone. And you know, we are very skeptical about what we say on the show because we do not want to offend anybody. But the truth of the matter is that the mismanagement of funds in our country is absolutely, it's so frustrating, it's so irritating. Like, I get a pain, which I shouldn't get a pain. But anyway, we need to move on to the next topic because maybe.
So the next topic trending all over the world is the story about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and basically the detail behind royal struggles, from discussions with the baby skin tones and suicidal thoughts. That is on everybody's trending list right now as to what currently is happening within the Buckingham Palace walls.
So what is the actual the main thing with this? Because I haven't really been following the story that closely. I've just been hearing here and there what people have been saying, but I didn't read up on it myself.
So I actually watched the interview. I caught some of the interview. It was really intense, and I was actually watching it simultaneously while being in class. So they were basically speaking about the struggles that Meghan Markle had to go through fitting in the royal family. So there's quite a bit of things happening that we, the public, are not aware of that's actually happening behind the palace walls. That's like really, really, really tough. To the point where she even had suicidal thoughts, you know, her child, the family going back and forth about the child's skin tone. Basically all the things that they had to hand over to the royal family, such as the passports, the ID documents. So you couldn't move if you didn't get the go-ahead from the Queen and everyone within the Buckingham Palace community, whatever.
Yeah, this is such a controversial topic because, like you're saying, it's the first, I would say, person of color coming into the royal family. And, you know, it says a lot about the royals, if you can put it that way. What is your thoughts on it, just listening to all of this? Because I do know that there was one thing that I heard where they were saying, people, the skin tone thing. One of the interviewers asked us, so what complexion will your child be when your child is born?
I mean, it's definitely an eye-opener. You know, it shows that you're not royal enough. You go through the same things that the person down here is going through. And it's exactly the same thing we're facing, they are facing up there.
Same struggles.
I mean, to be able to say you're not too white, there's a certain type of white you need to be. I mean, it was such an eye-opener for me.
That is, it's so sad, eh? And I can, as a person of color and somebody who's considered mixed,
Yeah.
although I do believe that some people have a problem with the word, but I do believe that I'm colored or brown. But people would consider me mixed. And even in the country that we live in, you still have to prove
Yeah.
your worth.
Absolutely.
You have to prove your worth to white authority. You have to prove your worth to black authority. So I completely, like, obviously not on the level that Megan, because that I cannot even begin to imagine the kind of, suicidal thoughts. You must know it's bad. I remember listening, Harry said that in the early stages of their relationship, he knew that he would soon have to make a decision to like completely, let go of his
the
royal
family
title
and the
and say goodbye to the
titles.
family, because of his partner at the time, Megan, who's now his wife, and they're expecting their second baby. So I don't know if they'll ever get to watch this, but we want to wish you guys everything of the best.
shout
And
out
to
to
those
you
people
guys.
who feel like outsiders, this show is for you. Especially, we say, from marginalized to mainframe, and that is what the show is about. So we are
100%.
totally behind the Meghan and Harry
Story.
team. We are team Meghan and Harry. Hey.
Over to the last topic in the breaking news. This is in other news.
Hey, this one is intense.
This one
eh?
is a little bit hectic. But nonetheless, let's go for it. Nigerian man catches $2.6 million blue marlin fish. Him and his village people ate it. So
That first
basically-
part was so cool, eh? That first part sounded like, well done.
So basically, the Nigerian guy reportedly caught a 2.6 million blue marlin fish days ago in Wari Delta State and ate it with his village people without having the knowledge of its financial value. This story has ever since trended on social media.
You were calculating it earlier. You said it's 40 million rand.
That's 40 million rand we're talking about. I mean, you spend 10 million rand, you still have 30 million rand to yourself. That's a lot of money.
But also, I was asking you guys the question earlier. Do you think, I'm sorry, but you corruption is rife. Do you think this guy obviously did not know the value of that fish?
And
Do you
hence
think
they ate it.
if they were gonna go give
People
the
were
fish to the
hungry.
authorities or to the government or to whoever, do you think he was gonna get his money's worth for catching that fish?
Definitely not.
They weren't even gonna. They were gonna be like,
Definitely
okay,
not.
here's not even a 1 mil, not even
There's like
$100,000. Nah,
Yeah, it's a fun. Just
yeah.
give me
a thousand.
What
What
do they
is the
call it?
currency of Nigeria?
It's dollars.
Is it dollars?
Nigerian dollars, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know, but they weren't even going to give him his worth. So he ate it. I mean, kudos to you also. Was it lekker? Let us know. We want to know. It must have tasted really good. That is $2.6 million.
Crazy. I'm so sorry,
In
man.
your stomach, out of your bum. I mean, what more do you want? It was good. He enjoyed it. It was nutritional. It was healthy. Kudos to you guys.
Yeah. But
You
that
can't
means-
say that you had a $2.6 million fish.
Hey, if I had it, I probably would have sold it and got my money's worth for it.
But would you know the value? If it weren't for this Nigerian man, now for the next person that catches this
Yeah, now
blue
we all
marlin
know.
fish, now we all know that. But isn't the blue marlin fish also like on some branding?
Yeah, I think it is.
Is it the school brand, the Marlin brand? Do they have the? I don't know if it's the blue.
Marlin. There is a Marlin.
There's a stationery brand, but I don't know if it's the same Marlin.
Only Marlin I know. They make those red and black pencils.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, that brings us to the end of the breaking news segment with Mokta Miller.
Hey, Mokta Miller in the house. Earlier on, I was saying to Clayton, can't you play Nanny McStuffins? And I was like, Jamie, you have kids, don't you watch Nanny McStuffins? And she's like, Nanny McStuffins? I know Doc McStuffins. I don't have kids, okay? Don't judge me. So Jamie, tell us more about your journey. We want to hear about it. Where did it start? Okay, you did mention briefly that you had a family friend that was a nurse in the department, and she told you about this field. But did you always want to be a doctor? Because I know, like with kids earlier on in our days, we decide. Speaking of kids, before we go there, I want you to just put up that photo of Jamie and I. I want the people to see that we come way back. Do you remember this?
Oh, yes. Oh my word.
Let's have a look.
I remember that.
Wow, this
Yeah.
is like
Way
way
back.
back.
Way back. We are
This
throwing it back on a Wednesday.
We
This
still
is
look
all the
so
way
cute.
back.
We still cute. We
Where
are
was
still
this? Sunday
cute.
school or
This was
No.
in Johannesburg.
Yeah. So Jamie's originally from KZN, Durban.
KZN.
okay?
But yeah, our moms are friends, and so we've come a long way together.
Yeah.
But tell me, speaking of kids, and now that you see our picture and you know that we go way back, let me know, like, did you always want to be a doctor, or how did this come about?
So I knew I always wanted to be in the medical profession. I knew that that's where I wanted to be. Back then, I mean, I finished school in 2009. I matriculated. I had 4 distinctions. At the time, they worked on a racial quota system.
Okay.
So so they had to have a percentage of different races in a medical class. So even though you had reached the requirements, somebody of a different race would go before you with less requirements, but just because of the color of their skin.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that option was out the door for me. I then registered for many other professions: dentistry, chiropractic, and cardiac technology, which I then pursued. You know, I studied through a university called DUT, Durban University of Technology. That is in Durban.
Okay.
And yeah, so I registered, I got accepted, I met all the requirements and qualified in 2013. Did my practicals in Tygerberg Hospital in Cape Town. At that time, you know, when you're young, you just want to get out of your parents' way and into freedom.
Yes.
So I did a practical year in Tygerberg Hospital in Cape Town. The residency that I stayed in, you know, you think you in a hospital residence. It was a struggle.
Like a hostel almost.
It wasn't Grey's
struggle.
Anatomy.
Never. Far from that. You know the yellow sponge mattresses?
No. No.
I'll never forget, my mom took me to Cape Town. She came with me just to prepare me. We went into my room. I was traumatized. I said, I can't believe I'm going to stay here. She's like, Jamie, let's go. We'll get some detergents. We'll clean out everything. She really made it.
So gracious, so humble.
She really, really made it nice for me. I mean, we had a communal bath. I'll never forget, for 3 months, I bought a bucket. I bought a
Are
bucket.
you
The
serious?
struggle is real.
What?
I had slops and I made it work.
Wow.
I made it work. So you must know, in that little room, it's your kitchen. You get a 2-plate stove, gas stove. It's your kitchen. It's your study area. It's your sleeping area. It's everything. You got to do everything in that room.
She
Every
was.
single thing in that room. And I'm very scared. I hate cats. I don't like cats. Where we needed to hang our washing, there were about 80 cats.
What?
80 cats.
So you
just
guys didn't have rats, you had
roaming. We had
cats.
cats
You had, like,
everywhere.
proper cats.
So every time I needed to do my washing, I've got to focus my mind and go out and hang my washing amongst all these cats.
So you were conquering like your fears
Yes.
and at the same time.
Absolutely.
Do you think that journey makes you appreciate what you are doing now even more?
I do. No, I definitely do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that it was all rosy. I had a lot of hiccups along the way, which is normal in our life.
Yeah.
But it's been worth it. It's really been worth it.
Wow.
So explain to us some of those hiccups that you mentioned at the beginning with the whole quota system, doing what you wanted to initially do because you weren't the right color, you weren't accepted into the class. But tell us now more about like the other hiccups that you experienced along the way.
So I grew up in a Christian home. I was brought up in a Christian home.
Come on.
But I was far from Christ. I was very far from Christ. In the last, I would say, 2 years before I went out to study, I was lost. I wanted to go out. I knew what I wanted to do, but I was totally lost.
Yeah.
I went to Cape Town. You know, I was always a person who could prioritize my work. I could party, but I could pass well as well. I knew exactly how to manage my time.
Yes.
thankfully God was with me along the way, and He kept me. So went to Cape Town, started studying, met a guy. Thankfully, he's my husband today.
Wow.
Whoop, whoop.
That's only God's
shout out
grace.
to husband.
Yes, yes.
Shout out.
So met him, and I fell pregnant in my first year of practicals. I had done
Okay.
already completed 2 years of my theory through the university. In my third year, I fell pregnant in the third month of my practical in Cape Town. It was my third month in practicals. And I'll never forget, my supervisor said, Jamie, just stay on. You know, we'll cover all the things we need to cover. We just won't go into theatre.
Okay.
They really wanted me to stay. I was enjoying my time there. It was a great academic hospital. I learned so much
Is
there.
this Tygerberg?
This is in Tygerberg. So
I know that Tygerberg is your...
they're beautiful. It's a beautiful academic, and the cardiac unit is one of the best.
Yeah.
So I had to leave. I made a decision that I had to leave. My partner at the time was staying in Johannesburg, so he was originally from Johannesburg.
Okay.
I moved to Johannesburg and gave birth that year, end of 2012. Went to the university and asked them to continue my studies, and they said, I'll never forget, the lecturer said to me, Jamie, take this time. Build a foundation for your kid. You can always come back to studying. My partner was very supportive. He really pushed me, to go back to studying. 2014, I was at Charlotte Matleke Hospital. Then
Yeah.
Matleke.
Mat-
Let me
Mat-
get it
Mat-
right.
Matleke. Get the
Matleke.
clicks correct, girl.
Did my third year, completed my third year there. I passed, continued to do my BTech. I did some research there. I did my own study through the hospital. And actually published that study in one of the journals.
Wow, that is amazing.
That's
Kudos to
Kudos
you.
to
We just
you.
want to say congratulations on that.
Yeah, so I completed, and now I'm in private practice. I was working in government for 4 years, just over 4 years, and in end of 2018 I left. I took a step of faith.
Sure.
I knew I needed to get out of the government, because you know what, government has its perks, but at some point you gotta go to the next level.
Yes.
So I took a step of faith. I prayed about it, and God just really stepped in for me. I took some of my money. I bought 2 machines to go into my own into private practice.
Sure.
Wow.
And I had no idea how I was going to do it. I had no idea how I was going to pay my expenses. But I've submitted my request. I said, Lord, I know I've submitted my request to you, and you are going to direct me.
Yes.
And best believe, God came through every time. I think
Sure.
for 3 months I was on my own, not having my own cardiologist that I was working with.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
basically had to locum for other technologists. I was basically grabbing the bits and pieces,
Yes. Sure.
here and there. But every month I made it.
Tell me, I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
You were saying that you worked for the government. Was
Yeah.
this a prerequisite to, once you are qualified and obtain your necessary qualifications, are you then required to go into the government space and work at the public hospital for a certain amount of years and
Yeah.
then move into the private sphere?
So in our field, back then, so 2 years ago, I would have to complete a diploma. I had a diploma in clinical technology. There, you have to work under supervision. So
Okay.
you have to work with somebody above you. If you study further and get your BTech degree, thereafter you are able to work independently. So with the diploma, you have to work under supervision, ideally in a government setting. But once you've completed your BTech degree, you're able to go into private practice and you work on your own. So
Okay.
you work basically on your own as an independent service.
Sure. That's amazing. On our show, we like to highlight purpose. And Aldrin, I know that he is a firm believer in purpose and the purpose and the will of God.
Yeah.
And so when you were telling your story and you were saying that, starting out, and I feel like we've all had this. We were speaking about it when, the first show that we had, the Whensday Warm-Up, it was the matric results show. And Aldrin and I were giving our testimonies of how we started out. Like, for instance, we didn't have the funds to go to university. We had
We
to
had nothing.
persevere. I was also, with the results that I had, which was pretty good results, and I don't boast about it. I come from a private school.
Yeah.
And I've had private school education all my life. Starting university, with the results that I had, I thought that I would qualify for a bursary. Unfortunately not.
Yeah.
Again, the color of your skin.
Yes.
But you persevere. And this is what we always say, the both of us, like, don't make excuses.
Yeah.
If God has a purpose for you, you will,
Yes.
there's no way that you are not going to
Anyway.
make it. And look at the journey that God took you
Yeah.
on. And it's the same like with me, I didn't want to go into, linguistics.
Yes.
I didn't even know what linguistics is when I started university, but there was the course that I wanted to do was full. And so the person that I believe that every step in your life is a step that God places there,
Absolutely.
especially if you put your life in His hands and you say, you know what,
Absolutely.
Lord, whatever you want me to do it. And look at you, you are such a perfect testimony of
Yeah.
that. Now you have your own private practice.
Yeah.
You are independent. You are doing what God has called you to do. And we
Yeah.
just want to commend you on that. That is such an awesome
We salute
testimony.
you.
And even we've got some absolutely awesome comments. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We've got a Cordell. Do you know Cordell?
My sister-in-law, my sister.
Cordell. Shout out to you, Cordell.
Shout
Hello.
out to you, Cordell.
Thank you for tuning in.
Sending you love from the inside.
Your
show.
mom is in studio with us at the moment. Auntie Adele, shout out to you too.
Shout out to you, Mom. We love you.
And then we've got Auntie Joan is also on. She says that us as brown people can identify with the racial discrimination. She was saying
Absolutely.
that. Cordell says struggle, perseverance, and success. And then she does the dab.
dab.
Hey! She also says resilience is key. Thank you, Jamie. And then Debbie Finn, your aunt.
Yes.
Your aunt says, so proud of you, Jamie, enjoying listening. Thank you so much to everybody who has tuned in. Thank you. Please do drop us a comment if you know, for instance, that one of your kids don't know what they want to do. We will be taking questions. So if you want us to be answering some questions, Jamie will gladly do that for you. That's what she is here for today. We're talking about unconventional careers, and we are focusing today on cardiac technology. Is our chef ready over there? Hey, is our chef ready? We just want to check. We just want to check in with him quickly. We just want to check in with him. He looks like what does he look like? A doctor, Jamie, or a nurse?
We're getting there.
I don't know how my copy needs to be.
Yeah.
But I have a copy on today.
Yes,
Okay.
and also you see he's putting it on because safety first, right? He's working with food. He sanitized his hands.
I never cut my hair in a while. So
Oh,
that's why I have
the
it on.
excuse. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
but
Are you
it-
ready for
it's
us there?
Yeah, I think I can be ready for you.
Okay, we're talking about heart health this morning.
Heart health this
Heart,
morning.
not hard.
Not hard.
Heart.
Heart.
Die hart.
health.
Die hart.
My heart smaak na u.
I think it's smach.
Oh,
Smaak na u.
smaak na u.
Okay, but I don't know.
do
I could be
apologize
wrong.
to
But
the
we're talking
Afrikaans
about food,
people.
so my heart smack. Good.
Hey, I
Yay!
see you, see me, see you. Yes, girl.
Yes. So tell us, what will you be making today? I see very healthy food compared to the past few weeks.
Yes, so for this, all you need is an egg.
No, we
I'm
cannot
joking.
be doing
The
any
egg
more
is been
eggs.
passed.
I know
the
the
ingredients
I know
for
the
the past
people.
2
Hey,
weeks.
they're complaining. Yeah, the chef just know of eggs. People, I'm not a real chef. Eh? I just do this for fun. Okay,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
trying. I'm trying.
He's
I'm
really
trying.
throwing.
Yeah. So
He's winging it.
today we're basically making a smoothie.
A smoothie.
A smoothie.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
A
Smoothie.
smoothie. Yes.
Yeah.
So for a smoothie, you need a banana.
Okay.
Okay. You're going to need some milk.
Mm.
Full cream milk, people. Do not be using funny milks, please.
Yeah.
Come here with your almond milk and things.
Oh.
I know.
Hey,
I know we
soy.
talk of health and stuff.
Yeah, but what if some people are lactose intolerant, for instance, or they have certain health, like they need gluten free?
Get a new stomach. They sell it at Chinatown for
Cho, 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 cho.
50 rand.
And we have a cardiac technologist that can, use
know,
technology
can-
to.
We just want to
You
put
know?
in a disclaimer right there. The views expressed in the following program are that solely of the individuals and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Inside Show. Don't be coming at us, please. Okay, that was Jessie. That was all on Jessie.
My Facebook is Jesse Hendricks. Instagram Jezo Hendricks.
Hey.
If you wanna tag me, come at me. I'm not afraid.
Hey!
Come at me.
What you not like that guy? What's his name? Steenkamp. Not afraid.
Yeah, yeah.
Come at me.
I don't know
Yes.
Oh yes, I
So
know
you
who
do
she's
know.
speaking of. She's speaking about. She broke my heart, man.
Yeah,
She broke my heart.
Did you
Yes.
guys see that video?
Yeah, I think I saw
I'll
that
send
video.
it to you.
Lots.
It's so funny.
We'll show you. Then you need some honey,
Uh-huh.
and you're going to need some black cat.
Hey.
Because we are making a banana and peanut butter smoothie, people.
Liquor.
Yes.
I cannot
so
wait.
excited.
Come I
for
tell
this.
you, now, when I stayed in the UK, this was my go-to when I was hungry.
Okay.
And I don't know what happened, but it helped me pick up a bit of weight. But
Wow.
maybe because I threw whey protein in it as well.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah,
yes,
what you see
yes.
now, I wasn't always this smart, people. The lockdown made people pick up weight, it made some people lose weight. Okay? So, you peel your banana. Some of you have different techniques of peeling it. The technique I'm using is force.
Okay.
So no, we don't juggle bananas on the show. Only the eggs. Hey. So yeah, how was your week, guys?
You know, it was great. I'm looking forward to that smoothie. I quite like smoothies, and I love peanut butter. Peanut butter is my favorite.
I just wish you chose a different one. There's a cat, big black cat on that.
Oh, which one do
Yeah,
you
and
pick?
by the way, she hates cats.
Jamie hates cats.
Oh, I heard the conversation
Yeah.
about the cats.
Yeah.
I'm in that same boat. I feel like they can tour you.
Superstition.
Hey, we don't want any superstition.
So
in this
Sabrina
show. We
also
don't-
had a black cat, and
Yes.
she was a witch. You
Yes.
see,
we
so
don't believe in anything else but the blood of
Thank
Jesus
you.
and
Yes,
the power.
hallelujah.
hey,
But you know what?
We don't believe in anything else.
In the Bible, now,
Uh,
I also do believe that the devil came like a snake.
yeah.
But in my Bible, he came like a cat.
A black cat.
A black cat.
That's the Jesse Hendricks
Hey,
version.
hey.
Okay, so all my bananas are peeled.
And that's why he's a chef and not a pastor.
Yeah, no, because I'll lead you astray.
Okay, let's go. We've
I
got
don't
our
have a
bananas.
knife, but I have this thing.
Okay.
You need this as well. It is a tablespoon.
Okay.
Yes, so I'm just going to cut up my bananas into pieces, you
Yeah.
know, just to make it lekker small, you
Yeah,
know.
our chef uses any and everything
Yes.
available, you know.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
he's so talented and innovative like that.
Wow.
So
You
we
know-
just love our chef. He is really
Yes.
creative.
I'm very good when it comes to varsity life.
Okay.
In terms of making things happen for yourself.
Yes.
Because you know
Yes.
in varsity, times get tough. You don't have everything.
Yes.
And you were speaking about your studies and all that. I'm sure you studied your 23 years to become a... Because there's no jokes
A
there.
cardiac
There's no
technologist.
jokes.
In total, how many years was it?
So 5
Jamie?
years in total.
5
years.
years in total.
Sure. It's older than some kids.
Yeah, no, some kids watching this might be older than you.
Okay. So... I'm going to put the bananas in here now, okay? So...
What were you gonna say?
no, some people put the milk first.
Okay.
So it soaks in, you know.
Oh, I
But
see.
yeah, I'm just going to do it this way because I make my tomato gravy like this. So
In the blender.
yeah,
Wow.
and then I put it in the pot afterwards.
Yeah.
So
I am gonna.
I usually grate my tomatoes.
Yeah,
no.
You know, you go
That's-
the hard,
No,
Yeah.
old school way.
That's technology.
they
you
say
know.
work smart, not
Yeah.
hard.
Come on now.
So you learn something new today.
And we've got a technologist in here. She's not going to be spending
no.
time grating
Yeah, no.
manual labor.
She's on call, you know. She can't be grating here
No.
tomatoes in a beeper. Beep, 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 beep.
Do you
The girl
guys
never-
still have beepers though?
No.
Not
Yo,
anymore.
that is so
Not
old school. That was
anymore. Oh,
Grey's
sorry.
Anatomy
You have
circa.
walkie-talkies now. Shh, come in. Just wanna, someone needs a new heart. Okay. 2 cups of milk. Yes.
2 cups of milk.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a very small cup. So if you're at home,
Maybe 3.
use the cup you have.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know what cups you have nowadays. I think this is a 0.2 liter.
Okay. Sure. 0.2.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a thing, nah.
No, definitely not.
Okay, we put that there.
But we know our chef. He wings it. So.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
he-
put 2.5. Just
Sure. Wow, that's a lot of milk.
yeah, it is a lot. I can
Jamie,
see.
are you the like the chef said, bougie people that have almond milk and soy and
Yes,
Are
I drink
you-
almond milk.
Oh, I do
Really?
apologize for my statement. But
No offense taken.
then we're going to just scoop up some peanut butter.
Sure.
I'm just gonna drop it in there. Yeah, just one because I know our guest doesn't like cats. So we'll just do one for her.
Hey.
And then we're going to drop some honey in here.
Oh, lekker.
Come
Yes,
now.
yes.
I believe I.
So, how's things going?
Hey, it's
we
going
good?
great. No,
Yeah,
lovely,
no.
man.
I'm just,
Okay.
putting
Oh,
some.
by
Yeah.
the way, so if you guys are wondering the blood in my T-shirt, Jamie brought a cat to me earlier, and she was like, "Yo, don't you just want to operate on this cat because?"
Jamie's busy. Sorry
You
to
know,
break
so-
your word, but Jamie's staying at me to throw this honey in because I'm just here. You must see me
So-
with the salt.
Yeah, no.
worse.
Yeah.
I actually watched one of the shows and I saw how much salt you put in.
Yo.
That
But
was
it actually
salt.
worked out.
Cholesterol.
Today. It was delicious.
You know what? I have a gift. Whatever I do, it comes out all right.
Come on, come on. That's scriptural, actually.
Hey,
eh?
come
that
on now.
sounds one.
Whatever
Is
you
it?
put your hands to.
Well, it gives you a precondition. If you meditate day and night
Yes.
on the word, everything you do will be successful.
Come
Yes.
on now.
Shout out to you, man.
It comes out all right.
So all right is successful.
Which means that he clearly didn't meditate on the word day and night, you know?
Sisa.
So we just,
Sisa.
you know, shaking it up a bit. Just
Just keep that thing close. Just now,
Hey!
did you put the ice blocks in? Not
no,
yet.
we put it after.
Okay.
Yeah, we learn from McDonald's.
Yo, we.
I think I needed more of bananas in here because there's a lot of milk.
But I saw when you were going that milk, I was like.
Yeah, but Eldon made me. He made me question myself.
Yeah.
Because he said, I think maybe 2.5, you know. Like he makes smoothies at home all the time.
I'm sorry about that, Chef Jess.
Hey.
There is still bananas there. But this one banana's not now working here.
Just get it. Just
It's
just
not-
get
Yeah,
another
no,
one.
that's not a smoothie.
Yeah, no, that's
smoothie. That's a smoothie. You
This
see,
is
it's not
really
a smoothie.
smoothie. Okay, Leandra, you know what? We'll come back to
We'll
this.
come back to it.
Yeah.
Let's get back to our story. Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, seeing that the chef will come back and he will come and give us some of that lekker smoothie. We're gonna taste it. We're gonna taste it soon. Maybe
We're gonna brew.
we're gonna brew
I think
it.
the blend is the problem.
No,
not me.
I just think that your ingredients, your quantities
There's an
are the
oversupply
problem.
of something, that's
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now we're
He's
gonna get.
speaking the most, but he made me oversupply.
Hey, you see, that's why you mustn't listen
sorry,
to people
chef.
all the time.
Sorry,
But
chef.
Jamie, we want to get back to your story. But before we get into that, we want to play a game.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I hope that you can work with chopsticks, girl.
I'm gonna
Okay.
try.
So what you're gonna do is there's a lot of we've got jelly over here. Okay, it's raspberry flavored because I was thinking of the inside of the body. I know we're getting a bit graphic here. Also, another warning out there: the views. It might be what's that one? That one disclaimer that they put.
sensitive
Not for
viewers.
sensitive viewers. Yes,
Sensitive
yes,
content.
some sensitive content. Exactly. There's a content warning up in here. So we've got this Jello over here, and in the Jello there's different sweeties. Okay, so you have a challenge. You've only got 1 minute to use those chopsticks to get a specific number of sweets out. So this is what she's gonna have to do. She's gonna have to get 2 hard sweets.
Okay.
Okay, there's those heart-shaped sweets, those the hard candies. Then you're gonna have to get 4 sour worms. Okay, you're gonna have to get one of those pink. There's those small little. Let me just check it. There's those small little pink sweets. You know those darling. What do you call them?
The
Those-
very small ones.
The small ones, the musky ones.
Yes, I know which
Okay.
one.
The
So
one that
that's-
smells like old people.
Yes.
Wow.
The views expressed in the following program are solely that of the.
That's a joke, people. That's a joke.
Okay, that's ageism right there. Okay, so you're gonna have to get 2 hard sweets, 4 of those of the sour worms and 1 of those pink sweets. So you must leave the other things. And also, those stuff are like deep in, so you must search, girl.
And this is ancient technology.
That is ancient technology. It's definitely not what Jamie's used
Now
to.
we've got robot hands.
Yo. Okay, let's put the timer up here. Let's put the timer.
Are there
We've
hot
got-
sweets here?
There's hot sweets in there.
Sure.
You must search for it, girl.
You got this.
Do your thing.
Sure.
Do you want to break those apart or do you want to use it like that?
I think it's going to give me more stability like this.
Okay. Right. Are we ready? Are we ready? Okay. And in 3, 2, 1, go. 2 hard candies. Yo, she's got the sour worms. Four sour worms.
Already? Oh.
Yeah.
No, but she's using force there.
Sure. Come on, Jamie.
Come on, girl. You got this. You got
She's
it.
going for the sour worms.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
there's technique here, guys.
Sour worms
We're
first.
working with technique.
Guys, there's no hearts here.
There is hearts in
It has to
there.
be hard still.
No.
Come on, you are cardiac technologist,
This
girl.
bowl is heartless.
Do you think the hearts melted?
They disintegrated.
I think I see something here.
Where's
on
the
this
pink sweets? You've got
Nah, I think the musky
15
ones are
seconds
probably
left.
done.
There's no musk sweets.
Did they, baby? What's that? That's a jelly bean.
Disintegrated.
Yo. Can these things happen in our
Yeah.
bodies?
It's a powder. I found a crumb of it.
Oh.
Wow. We're getting a biology lesson here.
There's the crumb.
Okay?
That's
Yo.
what it is now.
You must know you have
Yo,
a good eye
yo,
if you
yo.
can find a crumb.
No, definitely.
Okay, time is up.
Yeah.
But you did well. Let's see what she has here.
There's no hearts and there's no old people sweets in there.
Sure. There's really no odds. So why do you think that happened?
It's powder. So
Yeah.
it dissolved.
The muskiness.
That makes sense.
Okay. And what about the hard sweets? The hard candies?
They also powdered.
Oh, wow. There's really no... Well done. You won that challenge.
So there's nothing left.
No, there's only the sour worms and
There's
the...
Smarties in here.
Yeah, there's Smarties in there. Sure, that is interesting. We just learned something here. So the
So
powders, that's why
producers,
Grandpa dissolves.
Yes. Yes.
Disprin dissolves.
Yes.
So the pink sweets are basically like Disprin.
Yeah.
Eno.
But hardened. In a
Yes.
solid form.
Yeah. And the hard candies are like
They're the same.
pills. Popping
Yeah.
pills out here. Well done, Jamie. Congratulations on that. Okay, so before we get into our smoothie, are you ready with us for us there?
I just need to make a noise real quick.
Okay.
So is it fine if I just...
Go ahead, bro.
And I'm watching in the chat there. My
Yeah.
mother says it is the smoothie. So I mean the
machine.
blender.
Oh, it's the blender. The blender.
Yeah.
Okay.
She couldn't find her blender, the proper one. So
But we want to say thank you to her for coming through with that blender. We
Yes.
appreciate it.
blenders are very expensive.
They are very expensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey? I think it's right now. I think we're good to
But
go.
now, where's our? We don't have shot glasses. We don't have anything to taste there. Where's our cups? There's cups here in the drawer. We can maybe use those.
Add a bit more of honey for
Okay,
you.
I'm just going to read the comments again, Jamie, before we get into more of your story. Mary Ann Norman says, "Well done, my child. Watched you grow. Proud to be affiliated with you." Sandy Naidu says, "Congrats, Jamie. All your accomplishments are hard-earned and well-deserved. All the best for the future."
So good.
Debbie Finn is saying here to our chef, "So much honey." Laughing faces.
I'm sweet. I'm a sweet guy.
But she's also saying that she's loving the show. Thank you so much to Auntie Debbie. Is she in the States?
She's in Durban.
She's in Durban. Okay, which aunt is in the States?
Charmaine.
Charmaine. Auntie Charmaine's in the States.
Shout
Okay,
out to
cool.
Auntie Charmaine.
Shout out to
All the way
Auntie
from the
Debbie.
United States.
Auntie Jones says, yes, it's the blender, Jess. That's correct. He was not lying. I think it's Maurice Rose that says, "So proud of you, sister. You are amazing." Is it Maurice?
Yes,
Did
Maurice.
I got the name
Maurice.
correctly, right? Oh, yes, thank you, Auntie Joan. It's called romantics, guys, not old people sweets. Apologize. Apologize
My
now.
apology. My apology. Shout out to all my old folks. I love you guys. I love you.
Christine Finn says, well, someone doesn't eat sushi. Yes, indeed. Kodal
loves
says,
sushi.
the winner eats all. Would you like to eat that, Jamie? Jamie's good. She's okay.
Lactose.
If you
Yeah,
lactose,
no.
then I don't know what you're doing here then.
I don't know if Jamie will be able to, and
No,
she
no,
still has.
I can.
Okay, cool.
Oh, you
Okay,
can.
Yeah.
let's get. But before, okay, while he's pouring that for us, Jamie, tell us a little bit more about your story, about your journey.
Okay.
Some of your highlight moments in this career, maybe some people that you met that you would like to just like acknowledge, people along your journey that has really helped you out, that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
So, between my transition from the government setting into the private sector, it was really a big step of faith for me. And I actually prayed about it. I've got a great family support system who I can call
Yes.
and say, listen, this is what I need. I need the Holy Spirit to just guide me.
Yes.
Come on.
And He's really just guided me in absolutely every single decision I've made.
Sure.
We all go through hiccups, but I must just say this. God really takes what the enemy brings to cause harm,
Yes.
and He really just takes it and creates
Something
something so beautiful.
So
on.
true.
And I'm continuing. Right now, every single day, I see God's hand in my life,
That's
in
good.
every single thing. So before I made that decision, I prayed and I said, you know what, God, I just want you to guide me. Because so often you can end up in just the wrong place.
Yes.
Working with the wrong people.
Yeah.
And I prayed, I'll never forget, I said, I've got two options. I've got a doctor that I've worked with for 5 years. He's
Yes.
offering me an opportunity to work with him in the private
Sure.
sector. That's the easiest route to go. I know him. I know how he works. I know he's my safe place to go. And then there was another...
Your comfort zone.
My comfort zone. There was another doctor that heard his technologist was going away to New Zealand, relocating. And he was the no-go zone. Everyone had warned me against going to work. He's actually a professor. He creates textbooks for medical students.
Sure.
Wow.
So that was the no-go zone. Everyone advised me, don't go there.
Yes.
He's like this, he's like that. But I promise you, every time I prayed, the Holy Spirit was directing me in that direction.
Come on.
Sheesh.
And I prayed, I said, you know what, God, I want to work with a doctor that believes in Christ.
Yes.
I want to work with somebody that believes what I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
Because at some point you want somebody that fights the way you fight.
Sure. That is powerful.
So
good.
Sure.
I went and I said, you know what, let me go for the interview. And I've been with him now for 3 years. And I won't lie, he has impacted my life more than... I don't think he even realizes how he has impacted my life.
Sure.
And I mean, we encourage each other. We work with each other. We are such a great team. He's
Yes.
a professor, Professor Peters. He works at the Flora Hospital.
Yes.
And we work so well together. And you know what? God really places you in a place because He knows what's to come. He knows
Sure.
your future. I'm just going to give you a snippet of some things that I've been experiencing lately.
Yes, please.
I've been going through in and out of hospital, been dealing with post-COVID effects.
Yeah.
And the way we work is that in a theatre setting, I work as an independent practice. I bill the patient and that's it. In the room setting, he pays me a salary.
Okay.
So this month has been one of my months where I basically worked for 6 days. So I had to bill 6 days out of a 30-day month.
Sure.
And you know what? God knew that I was going to be in this place. And guess what? He paid me as if I worked a full month.
Sure.
Wow.
James, that is
so
such
my
a
point here
testimony.
is that God, everything that happens is for a reason.
Sure.
That's
Where He
good.
places you is for a reason.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, that's basically,
Wow.
someone that I've met along my way that's really impacted my life.
Yes.
Not only is Jamie a cardiac technologist, she's also a pastor, ladies and gentlemen.
She
bringing
is a
like
preacher
fire-
of the gospel
a
of the
fire
good,
word
the
here,
good
man.
news of Jesus
Gee whiz.
Christ.
Come on.
No, that's
Somebody
so
say
true.
amen.
But you know what? And this is, you mentioned something that a lot of people overlook. And I know that there's some people who are watching who are non-believers and they don't necessarily believe in Christ. But for you, this is you speaking about your personal journey.
Yep.
And a lot of the guests that we had on our show, they all echo the same thing, that
That's
without
correct.
Christ, like, because even
You're
last
nothing.
week's guest, Houston, which was on
Yeah.
our show, he didn't study to be a graphic designer or a lettering artist. He's self-taught. But again, he was saying that every step was ordered by God.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why he's now an independent artist. He
Sure.
works on his own. He has his own company. And just tell us how important it is to make the right choices for somebody who's watching out there. They're confused at the moment about their purpose. They're confused about what they should do next. There's maybe a first-year student that still doesn't know
Yeah.
what it is that they need to go in for. What advice would you give to them in deciding on what to do? What's the next step for them?
I think it's important to firstly understand what type of person you are. Understand your character. We all know what we can deal with and what we can't. I must say this though, when I entered, because of life experiences, I was not always an emotionally strong person.
Okay.
But through what I've studied and what I've experienced, I now have a bit of a tougher skin than I did before. But you really have to know your character. And though sometimes growing up, when you choosing your course, you don't really know who you are. You only learn it after.
Yes.
But it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to fail. It's okay to choose a wrong career, because this happens
All the
often.
time. Yeah.
The important thing is get back up and try again. There's a scripture, I think it's in Philippians. Be anxious for nothing, but in prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, make your request known to God.
Yes.
And He will guide you. So really, the only advice I have is pray about it. Ask God for direction.
Yes.
And sometimes we think that little voice is just a voice, and we kind of mistake it for your own mind. God speaks,
Definitely.
Open your ear and hear what God is saying. But yeah.
Sure.
That's good.
That's amazing. And now somebody who's
Yeah.
watching who wants to pursue this, what are the steps to take in order for them to do this? What do they need to apply to university? And
So basically, there are minimum requirements. You have to have a national senior certificate with a bachelor's pass, pure mathematics, English, and physical science and life sciences with a B pass. I'm not sure what do they call it now.
Bachelor pass.
Bachelor pass.
Bachelor pass.
So that's your minimum requirements. I must say though, first preference always goes to life science and physical science together in combination, but they do accept either or.
okay.
These courses are offered at technical universities such as Durban University, TUT in Pretoria, CUT in Cape Town, and yeah.
Are there any bursaries that you know of? Any companies that are maybe sponsoring students that would potentially want to go into this into this career?
I know I
profession?
was really blessed. My dad works for Toyota, and at the time, his company was offering bursaries for scarce skill.
Wow.
So because my course was a scarce skill, I managed to get a bursary for my full 5 years of studying.
That's amazing.
So
That's favor.
I was blessed.
Yes.
I really was blessed. But yeah. I can't recall at the top of my head any ones in particular.
That
no.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
And then so then you would apply at any of these.
You apply, and if you meet the minimum requirements, they then call you in for an interview, and then you accepted based on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what do we expect in the course?
So it's back then and now it's totally different courses. So now they call it a Bachelor in Health Sciences in Clinical Technology. It's a 4-year It's a straight 4-year course. The first 2 years are theory at the university and 2 years practical. So in your 2 years practical, you specialize. So I must just say, you can specialize. I've chosen to specialize in cardiology.
I see.
You can specialize in the brain, which is neurology, your kidneys, which is nephrology, your lungs, pulmonology, cardiac perfusion, which is open heart surgery, and reproductive organs.
Okay.
So you can, there's specialties. So I've chosen cardiology. So, but now it's a 4-year course. This last 2 years is your specialty. You specialize, and so after the 4-year course, you can work in private practice. You can work independently.
That's awesome. We're just going to read some of the other comments, and then we're going to taste our lovely chef. We're going to hand it over to him.
Smoothie.
So the smoothie. Okay. Again, we've got Cordell out here. Cordell, we just want to say thank you so much for interacting with us. You are absolutely amazing. God's best for you. Cordell says that the power of God, amen. Your mom says, wow, so proud of you, my child. The hiding's paid off. Yes, Auntie Adele, we all know that. Spare the rod, spoil the child. We've all been through that. But look, we turned out pretty good. Isn't that right, Aldrin?
Yeah, my
Do
mom
you still get
actually said
hidings?
that this morning. She was actually
Come on
like,
now, high five. Shout out to your mom. Neil Christian says, nothing like the glory of God being displayed through what we do. 100%, because he gets the glory. The talents that we have is all thanks to him. Auntie Joan says, keep pushing, girl. God's going to take you through this too. There's healing in Jesus. Thank you for serving and giving back to your community. We're praying for you. Thank you so much, Auntie Joan. She says, life doesn't get easier and more forgiving, but we get stronger and more resilient.
Absolutely.
Then Lauristine says, wow, what a great show. Thank you for inspiring us, Mrs. J. Kinsey. And then your aunt again, Debbie, says, wow, the blessings of the Lord. So, Chef, over to you.
So speaking about blessings, this smoothie over here is a blessing in your life right now.
In our tummies. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
In my tummy.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't have a cup, so I'm going to use now with this side thing. Oh no, that's just water that came out.
Isn't there another? Yeah, in the drawer.
Is there with your
In the drawer. There's enough cups now. Your cup is even in there with your name on it. Can
Thy
you
cup
ever?
runneth over,
Your
sir.
cup runneth over. There we go. There we go.
I got it my cuppeth. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to wait. No one taste yet. We are tasting together.
Togetherness.
The
So
same
if
Die
anything
together.
happens, we die together.
through.
We ride together, we die together. Bad
We have
points for
someone-
love.
Come on now.
I was about to say we have someone that can look after us if something does happen, but she's drinking with us now. So if you are watching
But
out there and
luckily-
you are a doctor,
Luckily, we're closing out the show for the lactose intolerant people, because after this, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Before, do you have like a shot that we need to give you or whatever? We just want to make sure. Okay, no, you safe, you safe.
please. Did you sign the disclaimer?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Are
gonna
we
come
ready?
around to Eldrin's mic and then we will cheers together.
Together.
Okay,
Okay.
here we go.
Right. Sure.
No, wait. Before you cheers, what we cheersing to?
We're cheersing to more blessings. We're cheersing to
Less cats.
Less cats. Yes.
And a bright
More
future.
blessing and a bright future.
Yes, and yummy in our tummy.
Yummy in our tummies.
Yes.
And cheers. Whoop whoop. Liquor. Okay. Here we go, folks.
Lekker soos 'n krekke, ja.
It's basically eating a banana.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you.
With
I love bananas. I love peanut butter. And I love honey. So this is
It's going
liquor.
down.
This is a smoothie, eh?
that's a top combo, bro.
Yo.
I'm not getting that much of the,
And the ice just adds
the
that.
ice, the finishing. And some people wanted us to throw in here.
Woo.
Okay, let's just give to our cameraman over here because whenever we eat, he also wants to eat.
Hey, you know.
Let's
Okay.
just-
But he's working, so he has to eat.
We've got a comment from the Hendricks family. I think this is coming from Xavier. He says some brown excellence. Yeah. Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir. Shanine Campbell says, well done, Jamie. So proud of you. Valerie Finn says, so proud of you, Jamie. You've always been such an inspiration to others. God continued blessings upon you. And your mom says, wow, the studio is beautiful. What a lovely atmosphere. Thank you so much, Auntie Ads. We appreciate it. We really do. Jamie, how was that smoothie? You haven't said much about it.
It's very tasty. Well done.
I can see the lie in the face.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
It's
Jamie-
not as bad as it looks. It's very good.
Yeah, the presentation is not 100%,
It's terrible,
but this is the taste.
I'll work on presentation.
Thank you.
Next time I'll put a colorful straw in.
Okay.
100%. Okay, I'm trying to talk with food in my mouth. Rude much. Okay, Aldrin, any last remarks from you? Anything that you want? You know, on this show we encourage people. That's our thing. We all about that midweek motivation. This is where you come to the Wednesday warm-up
100%.
to warm up your soul and your spirit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think for me, from my side, guys, thank you so much to all of you that tuned in. Jamie that shared a beautiful story. It's never easy. It's never just roses and, beautiful things. God will always take you through a season of hardship, humility, gratitude, because ultimately He wants you to rely on Him alone. And that's it. When you get to a place where you're too comfortable, you will find yourself in a place where you rely on Him again.
Yes.
And I think it's just enduring the season. Ask God what you need to learn in that season.
Yes.
And keep going. Don't stop. If it's time for you to get out of that boat, get out of that boat. Take the leap of faith, because you never know what's waiting on the other side. So thank you so much to all our people that join us. My heart goes out to all the elderly folk. I love all the aunties and uncles that join in. Just fixing my comment that I made earlier. I love you guys and can't wait to see you next week. Thank you.
Yes. Jamie, anything from you? Any encouragement to our viewers? Last closing remarks?
The last thing I just want to say, pressure can either burst a pipe, but it can also create a beautiful diamond. So just really push on, and as my husband says, keep on keeping on.
Come
Awesome.
on.
Shout out to hubby Etienne out there. I hope that he watches later on to see his beautiful wife in her element, because when Jamie phoned me, she's like, Leandra, do you want my anxiety levels to rise? I'm like, girl, you've got this. I know it. You know what? I feel like you need your own show.
Oh, no.
I honestly do. Maybe this is the beginning of something new, because you are she's so relaxed.
Yeah,
It's
she's like
natural.
so.
It's a natural for you. And I told you, didn't I, outside? I was
think
like,
you guys play a big part in it.
but Jamie, we want to say thank you so much for sharing your insights with us
a
and for
pleasure.
being such a light to the world. You definitely need it, and God has definitely placed you here for a purpose. You're going to impact so many lives. I believe that wherever God places us, that is where we ought to fulfill our purpose in Him. And our main purpose is to make disciples of all nations. And that's what we continue to do, and we continue to strive to do. To all our viewers who are watching, thank you so very much for your support. We want to give a shout out to all our folks over here. We want to give a big shout out to Cordell. Is she in Durban?
No, she's here.
She's here. Big shout out to Cordell. Big shout out to Auntie Adele. Big shout out to Auntie Joan, Auntie Debbie. Big shout out to Mary Ann Norman, Sandy Naidu. Big shout out to Maurice Rose, Christine Finn. I hope I'm saying your names correctly. Please forgive me. I don't want to be butchering it. Neil Christians and Lauristine, who's here. To the Hendricks family, Valerie Finn, and everybody else. Please do share this with your friends. Let them watch it. This is such an encouraging story, especially our show is directed towards Gen Z, and if you know of somebody who is interested or they do not know what to do with their lives, let them watch this show. Maybe they'll get some encouragement from this. We just want to say thank you once again, and we cannot wait to see you next week. Until next week, bye.
Bye-bye.